Zak Eadle, you're currently an unattached professional, a touring professional. Can you explain a bit what that means?
Yeah, so I'm not currently working at a club. I left Jesmond in Newcastle in December last year, and since have been applying for a couple of jobs unsuccessfully, so just biding my time until the right one comes up. But for now, I'm not working at a club, which is actually quite beneficial. I get to practice a little bit more for myself, travel. It means every time I go on court, it's for me, not giving lessons, which sometimes can negatively impact your game. So it's been quite beneficial, actually. It's been nice to have a break from giving the lessons, sewing balls. It sometimes gets you a bit down. I've sort of refound my love for the game. So it's been quite nice, actually. It's been about 8 or 9 months I've been doing it for now. So it's pretty good, but obviously eventually would love to be back at a club working.
In recent months, you founded a brand which is the Tambour brand. You've got merchandise, you've got strings. We'll get to the tour in a sec, but for the strings and the merchandise, can you explain a bit about how that came about and what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it came about. Everyone, obviously we've seen multiple racket manufacturers over the years. Harrow, Gold Leaf, and now we've got Wayward and one in France as well. So that everyone's always said, it's Grays have got the monopoly on the market for rackets. And I was at Jesmond one day and I looked at, we had a wall of rackets, which most clubs do. And I just looked and I saw all the string was just the same. And it sort of dawned on me that no one's ever questioned string, or, if you look at squash and real tennis and lawn tennis, there are a multitude of string options for spin, power, control, different colours. And I just thought, why has no one done that yet? So did some numbers and thought, actually, this might be all right. And got it manufactured. And yeah, it's been going quite well. Obviously, Camden's just won the World Championships with it. So that's the first world title, which is quite nice. So yeah, it's going really well. In about 50 to 60% of the clubs in the world. A couple of pros are using it. So, no, it's nice. It's just nice to see a bit of colour variation, a bit more personality. And I quite like to be loud and bold, so I go for the yellow personally. But yeah, it's nice. And then the clothing's just a little thing to go alongside it, starting to do a few club shops, which is cool. Just building a bit of brand awareness, really. So, yeah, it's all going well.
And you've also been promoting the Tambour Tour recently. Can you explain what that is and how that came about?
Yeah, so that came, again, another idea kind of born out of frustration, which I think quite a lot of the best ideas are. I'm in a handicap or world ranking position where you have to get a lot of things to line up for you to move up in terms of the right draw, the right time. You have to play well. And it came from playing in the British Open not very well and realising what I did wrong. And then it dawned on me that it was about 3 months until my next opportunity to put it right. And I thought that's not great for practice and getting better. So, came up with this idea. Essentially, a tournament that runs all year round, split over 5 rounds at different clubs across the UK. And it's for people between the handicap range of 0 to 15. So it's a good kind of proving ground where you can get a good few results and make that step up into the plus handicaps, and hopefully, gives people in the UK a bit more preparation for when a British Open or a French Open comes around, you're firing on all cylinders. So,
talking about your game now, how did you think last season went for yourself?
Last season was difficult because it was sort of my first season back after like a really long time away from the sport. I played the full season pretty much last year, bar a couple abroad. And it was just more about finding my feet again. Fitness was pretty poor. I had 4 or 5 years out from the sport, so coming back was quite difficult. Trying to get the body to catch up with what my mind remembered was quite frustrating at times. A lot of times where I wanted to give up again, but it was fun to get back, but it was a tough year for me because it was a lot of frustrating times. But hopefully starting to get through that now and getting a bit more back to where I was.
So what's motivated this return to play?
I mean, I've basically been born into real tennis. My dad was a pro. I grew up around a club, so it's sort of in my blood, I suppose. I never fully let go of it. Even when I was away for 4 or 5 years, I would think about it and watch people playing still. And it was always going to happen. I just knew it was inevitable. So it was just a matter of time, really.
So you're back at the French Open for the first time since 2017. What's it like being back here and experiencing the court and the atmosphere again? Yeah, the court, because I've played here, I think I've played 2 French Opens before, I believe, but quite a few years ago now. You know what the court's going to be like, but even stepping on there, it still surprises you. It's just getting used to it. Paris is a cool city. I mean, I've brought my girlfriend along, so it's quite nice to have a bit of time with her, exploring the city, go and see all the tourist attractions. That's quite nice. The court is tough. It's bouncy. You'd think it would be easier because the ball bounces more. You can get it back easier, but it doesn't work like that. You're constantly having to rearrange your feet, and quite often you find yourself in the wrong place and things like that. And obviously, I'm playing Mathieu, whose home court is Paris, so he's going to know it very well. So I've got to adapt quickly and get used to it, which is going to be tough, but I'm looking forward to it. And then looking ahead to the rest of the season, what are your goals? What do you hope to achieve out of this season?
Goals this season, trying to just sort of string together a few more results consistently. I've always found with my game that I can put in a really good result against somebody, but then equally you can go and have a shocker the next week. So this year I'm trying to just be consistent, not have the ups and downs, so it's just about trying to be a bit more level-headed, consistent, string together a few results, and if I can improve my world ranking and my handicap, great, but I'm just trying to be a bit more consistent with my play at the moment.
Zak Eadle, thank you very much.
Thank you.